Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
From bat tips to bat nips, we are just three cool boys revisiting Batman, the animated series, and wearing hats. This is Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast.
I see Batman and Beyond.
Greetings, Cool Boy Bat Nation, and welcome to another installment of Batman and Beyond, a Cool Boys podcast. I'm Felk.
I'm Ballard.
And I'm Steve.
So cool.
Tonight's episode is It's Never Too Late. Directed by Boyd Kirkland. Story by Tom Ruger. Teleplay by Garen Wolfe. Excellent name. This episode originally aired September 10th, 1992 for weekdays and premiered in primetime January 17th, 1993. As a repeat? That's odd. And it features Rupert Thorne and Arnold Stromwell.
Yep.
Wikipedia says a mob war between crime bosses Rupert Thorne and Arnold Stromwell is nearing its end and comes to a climax when Stromwell is set up to be killed in an exploding restaurant by Thorne. Batman saves him at the last moment, and aided by Stromwell's brother, now a priest who lost his leg years before, an accident for which Stromwell carries a secret guilt.
These are huge spoilers. These are huge spoilers in the Wikipedia open description.
Yeah, it's a synopsis of the episode.
Tries to persuade him to give up his life of crime and help the police bring Thorne down by testifying him. It's never too late. I actually really like this episode.
Yeah, I thought it was, it was a decent episode. And one of the things I liked about it was that it was one of these more down-to-earth sort of episodes, just dealing with warring gangsters. You know, that's something that is going on in Batman's universe, but they usually focus on all the wacky villains. So I thought this one was pretty good.
I liked it. I thought it was one of the more adult episodes, if not the most adult episode we've seen. I mean, there is just mafia shit and Batman intervening in it, and then it's like a son like being, a drug addict and disappearing, just like Nick Stahl did, except he's found in a rehab facility, not in Skid Row under a bridge, just like the real Nick Stahl was.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's pretty dark.
For
a kid's show.
I thought it was a much more sort of mature episode. It kind of was trying to do too much, I felt like, though, like with the whole Stromwell having the flashbacks as a kid and him being
Michael.
Focused on this trauma.
Sepia tone flashbacks too,
with,
Steve.
that's the classic Batman. They set it up last time with the sepia tones. That part was, they just tried to do a lot, but it was good. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, I didn't care.
I don't have that much to say about it other than I like the idea that it was just Batman dealing with gangsters. That's the thing I think that does fade out. Yeah.
Gangsters, son.
Gangsters, not gangstas.
Gangsta.
There's a difference.
Uh-oh, guys. Well, who do we see? Bruce in one of his many disguises.
Oh, yeah.
This one is called the Drunkard.
Yeah, we now learned that Bruce dressing up like a homeless man happens in a fair amount of his
I don't know if
days.
he's homeless. I think he's supposed to be just some drunk.
Yeah, he's just supposed to be a vagabond or something.
Yeah, I guess he's got drinking in a restaurant money, so.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the kind of money this guy's rolling with.
Plants the bat bug.
Yeah, that was smooth. I actually like that because it's obvious if you know that's Batman. But if you're like a 10-year-old kid, you're watching this, you're like, oh, what did I just see? I don't know. Was that a little move? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know the beards can come off.
I think that even when I was watching as a kid, I knew that was Batman.
I usually spent most of the time watching this show going, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. It could be anything. Who knows? I don't know.
We had different experiences as watching the show.
I will say, just the Batmobile just drove by, and I think it's the first time we've had like it drive by in a way that just the wheels are immediately in focus, coming at like a side angle. And the Christopher Nolan Tumbler really does make a lot more sense because this Batmobile and I guess kind of the '89 Batmobile, they have such low like clearance, like ground clearance, like the side of the car is like just inches above where the tire meets the ground. So Batman can really only drive on extremely smooth paved roads. Even a dirt road would fuck up that car.
I think he
really.
has lifts or something. When he gets on the dirt road, he can.
The rims curve around the wheel, so I don't see how the wheel could lift out of the rim, but I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I like how the railroad crossing causes the flashback. And you're just kind of wondering, where is this going? Like, what is going on with this trauma that he's experiencing? And does it just made him a worse person because he's a mob boss?
I was kind of into this episode watching it because I was like, this is the fact that I totally forgotten. I did not remember this episode at all. Maybe because when I was a kid, I fucking hated it. I don't know. But like, just the fact that like, it's like, where's this guy's son? Maybe he's kidnapped and they try to kill him. It's attempted murder. Like usually you don't even see like you don't see murder on this show too much, but you certainly don't see like just one mobster trying to assassinate another one, to the point where, and then son shows up in the, to me, like they don't say what drugs, but they do specifically say he's on drugs, bad ones.
Well, that's the PSA. It's it's not making drugs look like a good thing.
Well, no, I don't think any kids show would want to do that except maybe Ren and Stimpy. But just like there's so much like adult-ish darkness in this that when the flashback, you like reveal like what it is, and I'm getting ahead, but like I thought they might actually kill him in the final flashback. Like, does that kid fucking die? And he, spoilers, he loses a leg. A fucking little kid gets his leg cut off by a train.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's the priest.
Can you think of a more fucked up thing happening in these? In this animated series? I mean, I don't. They never like paralyzed Barbara Gordon or anything.
Yes, I can absolutely think of something. It happened a few episodes ago called Underdwellers.
No.
In which an older man molested a young child in the bathtub. I think that older man's name was Alfred Pennyworth.
That's implication.
That wasn't directly,
It was pretty nasty. That's all I gotta say.
That's your narrative. That's like your
hashtag time's up.
Well, no, your narrative is that Frog was asking for it.
Frog was, well, I think Frog may have been the predator.
You were very anti-Frog, if I recall.
And anti-Two-Face's girlfriend. And some other things.
Yeah,
the kid who wasn't like, who wanted to be a clown.
Yeah, oh yeah. Was his name Stewart or something?
Jeffrey.
I bet I'm looking forward to your thoughts on whatever the next episode after this one is.
The fuck was his name? Jordan.
Jordan.
Little cunt.
Tune in next week to find out, Steve, right?
Mm-hmm. About what?
Tease.
About my thoughts
Mike's
on the
thoughts
next
on
one.
the kid episode. What's it called? I forget the name of the episode.
I've got Batman in my basement.
I've got Batman in my basement. Yeah.
Tune in next week.
That's the kitty episode. Tune in next week. This was an interesting one where I thought that Stromwell and Thorne. I thought it was going to be that those flashbacks at first were going to be about them two and why they hated each other, but then I kind of put it together pretty quickly that it was the priest. But I'm interested in Thorne because Thorne becomes the mob boss, and I guess this is the episode where Stromwell just basically retires. I think. Yeah, this is his power control move right here to essentially take it all over.
They've never shown him before, so we didn't even know that Rupert Thorne had an adversary. And then in the next episode, I guess from that point on, Rupert Thorne's in charge.
I think they show Stromwell in the flashbacks with Robin's origin story. I think he's the mobster.
Is he?
Right now we have Stromwell and Thorne actually meeting up in the deli or restaurant, whatever this is, and it's a fucking dark setup.
It's kind of like The Godfather, I felt like, or something like that.
Totally, it really is. Like the way they we're just gonna blow him the fuck up, and they're the way they bounce out, it's all creepy, and then they're running away, and then from the exterior shot, the whole fucking building explodes.
Tony Zuko is the mobster who kills Robin Spence.
Oh yeah, not that kills him. That I thought Stromwell was involved back then, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, no, he isn't. He is in the episode. You're right.
Back when he was a mobster, but because after this episode, Stromwell is no longer a mobster. He turned stateside evidence.
Damn. This show's starting to impress me. Maybe I shouldn't have ranked it my fourth favorite.
For a kid's show in the 90s, it did pick narratives and did long structure storytelling. Mm-hmm. And Rupert Thorne is one of those people. Harvey Dent's obviously one of those people. Catwoman and Bruce's relationship is definitely one of those storylines. This is definitely one of the big episodes for Rupert Thorne. I like Rupert Thorne. Who's the other guy that the chemical makeup guy? Haven't we already had an episode with him too?
Oh, Roland Daggett. Who's
Daggett.
the inspiration? Yeah. Because there's John Daggett in Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises.
I think they couldn't call him Roland because they couldn't give him like the fucking, I don't know, they probably didn't want to give Dick Seabass or Marv Wolfman the residuals.
Credit.
Because I'm pretty sure
well, they also didn't go with Dick Grayson or Jason, Todd or Tim Drake.
That's just because Christopher Nolan's kind of a bitch when it comes to some things.
John Blake. I like your first name. Robin. Robin John Blake. Give me a break. That's a horrible name. Those parents did not care for their baby.
I got some problems with Christopher Nolan. Hey, you're
raping people?
No, just the fact that no. There's been no allegations against Christopher Nolan. No, it's just like, come on, Christopher Nolan. We all know what country really won World War II. Like, we have war movies about us fucking, taking the beach and shit. And your war movies about your country fucking retreating because it couldn't win.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's still good. That's not the point. The point is that he's just making the only movie that's a British film. He was just telling an interesting aspect of World War II that hadn't been told really in modern filmmaking.
Just saying,
Other than the atonement atonement, they had the siege of Dunkirk, the evacuation of Dunkirk in Atonement.
I didn't know it was in that movie.
It's at the end. It's a long take. It's a beautiful long take. I think it might be stitched up digitally, but it's a really impressive long take. One of the things that just happened after the explosion, I wanted to point out, which I thought was pretty horrible, is I think Stromwell from the get-go wasn't going to be the crime boss of Gotham.
No, clearly.
His goons just fucking flat out abandon him.
No, they didn't.
As soon as the explosion goes off, one goon's like, maybe I should go in. The other goon's like, we got to get out of here. Screw it. Boss is dead.
Well, I mean, the place blew up. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to run in there.
I don't know. Looks like Batman sure as fuck saved him.
Well, I didn't think they had anything to blame.
You're not gonna climb the ranks of Gotham mob boss if you have shitty hired goons.
They weren't shitty. They were a concern. They were like, boss.
They bounced.
Well, they're going to stick around.
They barely made an effort. They barely made an effort.
The building blew up.
Oh, I love when Batman's dragging Stromwell around and he's telling him he sells drugs. Stromwell says on the record he makes candy, and I just like to point out, candy makes you dandy.
It's some Colombian heaven.
Pure cocaine. Candy makes you dandy.
I never liked that movie. I actually don't like Half Baked or that portrayal of users.
Oh, I love Half Baked.
Marijuana.
Look who we find. We find Stromwell's son, Joey Jojo Shabadoo Jr. Stromwell.
That's a reference from The Simpsons.
Oh, I need your advice.
Yeah?
See, I got this friend named Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
Oh, no! Hey! Joey Jojo!
Joey Jojo.
Joey Jojo.
Hey, Joey Jojo.
That's the worst name I've ever heard.
Homer, that's the worst name I've ever heard. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I thought it's kind of cool that Stromwell's kid's all doped up. It's kind of a fucked up situation, I know you mentioned it earlier.
Is what I was thinking, right?
It looks pretty clearly like heroin.
And kids need hugs, not drugs.
I figured heroin. You don't go through those sort of pains unless you're rehabbing from heroin.
You know what feels great when you're on drugs? A good hug.
Mm.
That's right. Kids need hugs, not drugs.
And I like, though, that Stromwell tries to give Batman fake records. He still has some balls. He goes out there, even after seeing his son on heroin, and he's like, "I'll come out. I'll be a better person." He tries to fake Batman out, and then he pulls out a gun and is like,
"Ha!
I got one up on you.
Now I'm gonna shoot you dead, Batman." Yeah, really. What a piece of shit. Look at this. Right off. It was right in plain sight, though. Come on, Batman. You didn't fucking check out the gun in the room.
Kind of throughout the series, Batman just kind of gets one-upped by people, but then he gets out of it real quickly.
He's only human.
It's very true.
Yeah, but in really trivial ways too. Like He just turns his back and the guy's got a gun.
He's like, oh, let me look at these records really intensely. And there's like two guns on the wall.
Yeah,
he's
really.
just like looking at them and searching them. And then he's like slowly creeping and being quiet, trying to take the gun off the wall.
I lost all my money in a Ponzi scheme. He's constantly getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, everybody's kind of an idiot where they talk first and then they shoot. They should just really shoot and then stand over the body and talk about,
That's kind of all movies, but yeah, happens way too much.
Except for No Country for Old Men. That was just all shooting, no questions.
Yeah, that was like shoot first, ask questions later. You know what's funny right here is when we go back to Stromwell's flashback, and he's like seeing himself again and his brother Michael,
He's
and they're about to
watching it.
fall,
He's like,
and,
"Go
in the
home!"
tracks and everything. He offers his brother some candy, and once again, guys, candy makes you dandy.
Yeah. Do you think that's like a little foreshadowing of what he does later?
Drugs.
On?
Well, yeah, they say sugar's like one of the worst drugs.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
stolen candy.
That's why McDonald's puts it on everything, including their fries.
They do.
And in their cheese.
Sugar. It's what's for dinner.
I thought just potatoes have sugar in it.
I think they actually sprinkle it in. It's actually in their seasoning is sugar.
That's amazing. That's delicious. I want to eat some of that.
I love McDonald's fries.
So so I guess we're at the point in the end of the episode where we're gonna see, Stromwell, essentially become rehabilitated and turn everything over to
He confesses.
be a good
Batman-
guy.
Batman
follow
saves
his
the day.
brother, who's a priest, livelihood or whatever the fuck knows. And Thorne, effectively, even though he's arrested, he wins, right? He's now the crime boss of Gotham moving forward.
Is he
so.
arrested? I thought that he just gets records or something. Do they show
No,
him being
he's
arrested?
like passed out on the ground in front of the cops when the cops roll up. I
He
think
just-
the cops
he just
got
buys
him.
them
It
off.
would be an incredible mistake if the cops were just like, "Oh, he got away." I don't know. He was passed out on the ground and
Well, he just threw them a couple.
we just
grand.
didn't do anything or watch him ever, and he just got up and walked away.
That's what happened.
Gross misjustice or whatever they would call it.
Well,
Steve,
that's
what is that
life in
called?
Gotham.
What would that be called, Steve? Gross
I don't know.
misjustice? What was it?
Life?
Gross incompetence of what would it be called? You know these things.
I
There's
don't
negligent homicide. I mean, what are you talking about?
Not if he escaped, not because of the cops didn't pay attention. There's gotta be some kind of cop thing that if you're just hanging around the bad guy and then you let the bad guy walk away, that's gross negligence of something.
Not if you get a bribe. Then you're on the take.
But looking good, boys. Zip, zip.
So, guys, what are your cool boy rankings for this episode?
Glad to ask, Felk. I'll give mine first because I didn't like it as much as you guys did. Mine's a 3 out of 5 cool boys.
That's a lot of cool boys for not liking it.
Yeah.
Usually I'm a 4 or 5er. I only want good, great stuff, and I like almost everything.
I thought you'd have given like a 2-star for a different one. What was the one that you really didn't like before? Was it the Joker episode with the kid?
Be a Clown. Yeah, Be a Clown I gave 2 out of 5. The Forgotten I gave 0 out of 5. POV I gave 2 out of 5. The Underdwellers I gave 2 out of 5.
You have it recorded? Because I have not been keeping track.
Oh, I keep track of everything. Everything.
What have I given?
Oh, I don't keep track of yours.
Oh, what? That's messed up, man.
I give it 5. I'll give it 5. Fuck it. I really liked it.
Wow. Do you want to go into why you liked it anymore, or just give it 5?
Kid loses a leg, becomes a priest. It's funny shit.
I give it 4 out of 5. I thought it was a good one,
Yeah,
but
I found it entertaining.
the only thing was I just thought they were trying to do a little too much with the flashback stuff. I thought they could have utilized the flashback a little bit better, I guess.
Great bat stuff, gentlemen. Cool Boy Nation, tune in next week. Same Cool Bat time, same Cool Bat channel. Cool Bat Nation, be sure to let us bat know what you bat thought of It's Never Too Late, or what your favorite bat episode is by bat emailing us at batmanandbeyondcoolboys@gmail.com. New episodes of Batman and Beyond come out every Thursday. Also, please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with The Cool Boys Podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon, where the Cool Boys have an uncensored discussion about 5 so cool movies Everything ranging from bods to dongs and all the boners they have given us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at coolboyspodcast and Facebook group us at the Cool Boys Podcast. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube by searching for the Cool Boys Podcast. And be sure to rate and review us on iTunes at the Cool Boys Podcast. And if you like, you can donate to us on Patreon and receive additional episodes of Cool Boys After Dark and a Cool Boy shout out on the Cool Boys Podcast that airs every Tuesday. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. Thank you for listening. Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Felk.
That's Byzies from Ballard.
And Byzies from Steven.
So cool.
Batman.
And beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
And beyond.
Oh, yeah.